So, good day. I can't, for the life of me, make up the shit that comes out of Florida and Texas half the time, and then Tennessee, with the Republicans running their state and the evangelicals and the Project 2025 people running loose. So when Roe v. Wade fell, it was on the point that they wanted states' rights. That everyone, if your state wanted you to have abortion, you would vote for it or whatever. The states would decide it. Okay? What we had warned them is that knowing these Christians, these evangelicals, these crazies, just banning abortion wasn't enough. They were going to go to the next levels about birth control and controlling when people get pregnant and miscarriages. And everyone said, yeah, you're full of shit. Right. Recently, Josh Hawley has reintroduced legislation to ban mifepristone, the drug that is used for internal abortions, but also for women who have miscarried. In many states, women who have miscarried and have been dragged in front of a court or charged with murder, or they have to prove they didn't do anything for the child to die. Okay? If anyone who's had their wife had a miscarriage, you know that's insanity. But again, these people in their fucking zealot mind to protect the child or protect the embryo have gone this far. Okay? But it won't help you with school lunches, education, making sure your kid gets fed afterwards, making sure you have care for them when they're a baby. No, fuck that. A different debate, a different comment. So I've been watching videos of Florida where women, it's two women, mostly who are black, who have birth complications. Okay? Their birth had gone a long time, over 24 hours. And the doctors were recommending C-sections, and they don't want a C-section. They don't want surgery. They don't want to be opened up. One who was a baby doula, who was basically a midwife, okay, who knows how this works, had three previous C-sections before and had hemorrhage. She doesn't want to do that. Now, let me make this clear. When my wife had our youngest years ago, she hemorrhaged after they pulled the placenta. That was scary for a few minutes. That was scary. Okay? And that wasn't a C-section. That was a natural birth. All right? So she didn't want it. She's going to wait it out. All of a sudden, they cover her up with a blanket. They bring in the doctors. And all of a sudden, she's on a Zoom call with a fucking judge trying to explain why they can't force her to have a C-section. And the judge rules. The judge, who's not part of the medical team, that probably wouldn't know how to subscribe taking a fucking Tylenol, let alone birthing someone having a child, ordered her, you don't matter. The child's rights matter more than you, even though the child hadn't been born yet. So they forced her to have a C-section. They did this to another woman. Basically dragged him in the middle of having a birth, without their own attorney, without being explained what's going on. And this is the point, okay? Today, I saw a video from Annie Veshi, who does a Saturday show on MS Now, of a Project 2025 guy. I believe his name is Russell Cause. I've seen him before. He was on a video where he was trying to convince people to give him money and what they were doing, talking about their view of what women should be. And basically, women should be stupid, subservient, and give children, and basically just pop out children. Okay? Women should not be educated, should not vote, and that's it. I saw that. It was literally the incels Bible. And that's where we're at right now. Roe versus Wade being taking that away wasn't a taking away abortion, all right, or to have an abortion wasn't taking away that procedure. It was taking away women's rights to choose, women's medical rights. Right now, my wife's going through treatments for breast cancer. I can't imagine her not having to say what's going on, or her being told what to do and not to do. I can't imagine what that would be like in that type of situation. And here we are now. This is what happens, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, when you vote for Republicans. Because Republicans do not govern, they control. They don't want civil rights or people to have a say what's going on if they're not white Christian men. Their version of Christianity is perverted. And here we are. And that's what's going on in Florida. Because they did not want, the doctors didn't want to deal with it. And oh, by the way, that costs money, a C-section. That's an expensive surgery. So there's a economic value to the hospital for forcing those women to have a C-section that they're going to charge them for that they didn't want. Instead of trying to convince them, look, we're at this point for the safety of you and the child, we need to do this. No, they dragged her in front of a judge to prove that they could do it. This is what happens when you take away a right. They take away more rights. And then you let third parties decide how your treatment is going to go. This is where we're at right now. And until we get rid of these people, until we clean house and reset the court and start giving us back our rights that we deserve, that we have earned, this is going to continue. Because understand, this isn't just women's rights, it's everyone's rights. Look at what's going on with ICE. But I just saw that and I'm going, we warned you. Here we are. And Florida, Texas, North Carolina, hell, even in Georgia, where they forced a woman in a coma to give birth to a fetus, basically as an incubator, tells you everything they think about what women are in this country.